Hello, everyone. How are you all doing? I hope you're all doing great. Welcome to another Monday and another live stream. This is day 10. We're going to reset the counter, and instead of doing day 7, I'm just going to say day 10. Um, hey, everyone in the chat, Hunar, Raymond, Statics, Ishrit, how's it going? It's a Shruti. It's a Shruti. Um, Sick as a dog. Oh no, Hunar, I hope you're doing better. Try not catching the seasonal flu. Oh, the flu, it's no good. Everybody seems to be catching the flu. I hope you feel better soon, Hunar. Why is the camera blurry today? Let's see. Is that any better? Why is the camera blurry? Hold on, let me check on YouTube. My trackpad died as soon as I started the live stream. So there you go. YouTube. Let me see. How blurry is it? I think it's the resolution. Better. Oh, okay. Hi, Priyam. Nice to see you. Oh, yeah. It's the resolution. Why does it do this? Oh, wait. No, I'm streaming in 1080p. Oh, you know what? I think it might be the MacBook resolution. Which is fine because we're going to be coding a lot today. So we can handle this. Today's episode is going to be fun. I missed you all over the weekend. How was your weekend for you guys? I hope you got to learn something. I hope you got to take some rest. I have started a really fun project on the side, which is integrating or like getting started with TanStack start, and I am pretty excited about it. This weekend, I also finished recording everything about a video which I'm building, which is called useref. I want to ask how to switches to 144 for the camera. Is it really 144 pixels? Oh my god, that is really, really sucky. How to add the new commits to the already existing PR on GitHub. If you just git push, if you're on your branch and you git push, then it should go directly to your commit, to your PR. So just make sure that you're on your branch. Sarcastic comment. Huh? Switches to what? Okay, does anybody remember what we are supposed to be doing today? Also, if you're here for the first time, tell me first time in the chat. No clue. That is correct answer. That will do. No clue is fine. First time. Oh, hey, Priyam. Nice to see that you joined us for the first time. Welcome. Let's see if there's anybody else who's also here for the first time. How's everybody's Monday been? Did everybody have a good work day? This is still Monday for me. Did it just forget to commit, but now push the commit. Tane Gupta. Hey, Tane. Nice to see you. I love what your profile picture says. Since I barely watched the last one and yesterday was too feverish. I'm also first time joining today. Nice to see you here for the first time, Ishrit. Aslam Muhammad. Hey Aslam. I'm also joining for the first time. Cool. So glad you could join us. Okay. First timer. Hi everyone. Hi Hunter. So glad to see you here. Kunal. Krunal. First time in live, but I see the recorded ones. Oh, cool. Yay. So glad you could join live. Coming from your ex post. Awesome. Yeah, I'm so glad to see there are so many people who are joining for the first time and so many of you who are joining me again. I appreciate you all. Thank you so much for coming here. Okay, I will introduce what this stream is about. So, over the last, what day is it? February 10th, over the last 40 days actually, we have been building an AI app and we have been building features to this. We've been adding features to this app slowly, and so far in this app, we built an AI service that took natural language, parsed it into JSON, and then sent it over to our AI service. Took natural language text, used AI to parse it into JSON, and then sent it over to our real estate app, real estate API, which we've been using Zillow. So we have been creating a real estate search app using AI. Then towards the later part of the stream, we built a recommendation engine using the properties that we've already liked, and we use those properties to show you more properties that you would like. So for example, like in Netflix, if you like a movie, they show you other movies you may like. So we built that recommendation service. If you want to check out those, I highly encourage you to check out season 1's last few episodes where we've been building a recommendation service. So season 1 was in January. It was all about building the AI service. Oh, thank you for subscribing, Aniket. You helped me reach my goal of 3,000 subscribers by the end of February 28th. So I appreciate you subscribing. Thank you so much. Also, if we get to 3,000 subscribers by the end of February, which is February 28th, we're going to make chai and we're going to chat together. So it's going to be a chai and chat session on February 28th or March 1. Okay, so we've been building the recommendation engine, and I encourage you to check out season 1. Season 1 was all about AI app. Now in season 2, we have been using the app that we've been built so far and productionizing it so that it is maintainable. It uses the best of technologies. The UI looks nice. Actually last stream, we added a bunch of routes through TanStack router. And today we're going to work on one of those routes. In one of these streams, I think on day 3rd, we all built and collaborated a Figma design together. So I am going to implement that Figma design with you all. And also I am announcing that this project is now open for contributions. I'm going to link the Figma design in the chat. I'm going to open it for public. And if you're ever wanting to contribute to a React app or learn more React skills, this is your chance. Hey, Crazy, thank you for subscribing. And Priyam, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate you guys. So if you want to build a React app, or if you want to contribute to an open source React app, feel free to do so. Fork the GitHub and send a pull request. And I appreciate all of your contributions. The Figma design is going to be up in the description as well, and I will share that in just a second. But also, the app is open source as well. So feel free to fork, feel free to change it, feel free to add more features, or feel free to add a new page. All right, let's see what you all are saying in the chat. Remember, it's not a stream chat if you don't get trolled by them. We have to do the front end today and make the property details page. That is correct. We have to do the front end today and make the property details page. On the last stream, we actually developed a very basic page of the property details. So when you actually click a property, we'll show you a new property details page. Today we're going to enhance that, and we're going to add some styles. We're going to make it dynamic. We're going to add some data to it. We're going to build this client side first, and then towards the end, we're going to think about what data makes sense to put on the server so we can server render the app. So there's going to be some TanStack stuff. There's going to be, maybe we'll use TanStack start. Maybe we'll put Next.js. We'll see. We'll decide what we want to do by evaluating the pros and cons, just like we do at a company. I watched the last. You do not need the CLI when using Vite. Bunch of routes sounds too much since we added only one route technically. I made the PR to move the repo completely to TypeScript. I added the CLI so I could generate more routes. And actually what it showed was that you have to run TSR generate, and I was not able to generate that without the CLI, which is why I added the TanStack CLI. I made the PR to move the repo completely to TypeScript. Oh, cool. Awesome. Thank you, Ishrit. I appreciate it. Okay, now let me share my screen. First, let me get my app running. Then I will share my screen. Okay. Also, we are also joined by Pepper today. Where is Pepper? Look at her. She will be sitting with us and coding along. As of now, she seems disinterested. TSR generate would not be required if you use the Vite plugin and put that in the Vite config. For a full screen not found. Okay, let me get my app running. Oh. Also, one thing that I would love to hear from you all is what stack do you work on? Do you work on front end, back end, full stack? What languages are you using? If you're on the front end, are you using React.js? Is there something else that you have been using? Routes are generated from the files automatically when using the TanStack router with Vite. Oh, okay, when you run npm run dev. Oh, okay, that'll be good. Pepper seems lost deep in thought. Look at her, she is totally lost deep in thought. She's like, why do I sit with this woman every single day? Okay, where is my learning AI? I started with front end, currently working on React-based project. Nice. Only for the food and walk she provides me. Alrighty, let's get this app running. If Pepper was a cat, only for the food. Absolutely. And the pets. She'll be like, just give me scratches and keep moving on with your life. Okay, let me share my screen. There it is. I see that Crazy has subscribed. Thank you, Crazy. It's funny. All right, let's run this app. npm run dev. Computer is being slow. Force quit this. Force quit this. That's it. Okay. Oh, I have to share these links with you as well. I kind of want to create a bot so that in the beginning of the stream itself, it starts sharing these links, like the GitHub link and maybe even Figma link. Hello, Azimuddin. So nice to see you again. Hi, Vaibhav Singh. How was your day today? My day has been great so far. Even better because now I could get to hang out with you guys. This is the GitHub. Oh my god, I can't type. I recorded a new video on useref this weekend, and I actually shared a little clip on Twitter as well. Where's my Twitter? And I asked a poll, like, what do you think this is? Where is it? Where is it? And the answers have been so funny. Okay. I think this is the one. Copy link, copy link. Watch it if you haven't. I think this video is gonna be my favorite video so far. I am super proud of this useref video. Oh, there's 3 pull requests. Moving to TS, add Tailwind CSS v4. Ooh, cool. Tailwind CSS v4. Switch to biome. I think I don't want to switch to biome yet, Honor. Alrighty, so for those of you who are new, this is a quick show of the app. Hold on, let me get my npx convex dev running, and then let me get my backend running. So JS, alrighty. Okay, so here's what the app does. We have been building a search for, Aarti! Hey! So good to see you! Lalit, hi, nice to see you here. Okay, so this is what we've been building. We're building a real estate search app. So if you hit fill description, we can actually look for a Seattle house. We can say looking for a 4-bedroom house in Seattle in the range of let's say 1 million to 5 million, with a nice backyard, front yard, swimming pool, hot tub, because why not? And nice school district. Honestly, I don't even know if it will be able to find a house that has a hot tub and a swimming pool. But let's just hit search. So what the front end does is it allows you to look for a house in Seattle. What? Okay, apparently there is a house, but it's so not in the budget. Okay, so it allows you to look for a house in Seattle, and you can provide things that you are looking for. So you can provide your requirements like backyard, front yard, swimming pool, hot tub, nice school district. And what it does is it parses this English language text, this natural language, into JSON. And we are using the LLM to do that, the AI service, which is OpenAI. That's what we're using. We use OpenAI to parse this into JSON, which you actually see is right here. This is what we get back from the JSON service, from the AI service. And then we send this back to our real estate API, which in our case is Zillow. And then we use that information to populate this page and render a list of properties that match our description. So for example, this house, it seems that that house, it went away. It seems that house matches the description that we've provided. Now what we did yesterday or on that stream was, if you click on this house, you'll see that it opens in this page. This is actually the page that we have added using TanStack router, and it creates a new route /details/property ID. And this is the Zillow property ID, which is our real estate app, real estate API. So what we're going to do is we're going to dynamically create pages based on the ID, this ID that the user has selected. So every property would have its own details page. And that's where TanStack router was helpful. If you want to see how we added that, how we added TanStack router, how we created this dynamic page based on the params, check out last stream. Actually, why don't I just give you the link as well instead of saying last stream? Go to my channel. Where is my stream? Let's go to live and this one. This is where we added that. Got it. Adding TanStack router. Okay. Will you be reviewing my PR? Yes, Ishrit, I will review your PR, not on the stream, but I'll review it offline. Let me know if it's ready to review and I can review it after the stream. Can you explain the architecture behind this search query? Sure, I can explain that. Actually, hold on. Well, actually, I have a video for that. I do have a video for that. I just have to find the video. This one. This is the video. This explains building the real estate search app. That's what I would say. So check this out. It talks about like what the front end does, what the back end does. I hope that's helpful, Webhub. What else is the chat saying? Can I contribute to this project? Yes, absolutely, Lalit. I was also going to share the Figma link, and I think this would be super helpful for people who want to work on something that is similar to what you would do in a company. In a company, you would get a Figma, design, and then you're supposed to implement the front end app, especially as a software engineer 1 or 2. So if you are interested in enhancing your skills, highly recommend checking out this front end, this UI, and either doing it in your own repo, or if you want to even make a contribution here, totally welcome. This is the Figma link. I think right now, if you click on view, it might, hold on, let me do this. Who has access? Anyone. You can view, save. Okay, copy link. And now if you open this Figma, you'll be able to review this. Okay, feel free to fork this, or feel free to make a contribution to this page itself or to this repo itself. All right, what are we going to do today? I need to put on music. Does anybody remember in one of the streams, it automatically started playing Bruno Mars's song? Do you guys remember that? Some of you were still in that stream, you might remember it. I actually got a copyright notice for that. So I have to be really careful that I don't add any copyright music. It actually automatically started playing. Maybe pin the GitHub link? Okay, good idea. I will pin the GitHub link and you'll be able to see this in YouTube. Hey Arjun, I just saw your chat. How are you doing? I'll check it out. Awesome. Moving to TSPR would be great to do on the live stream since TypeScript would greatly help you in this project. Yes, I was there in the stream when this autoplayed. Yes, remember that? Adding all copyright songs to this playlist. That's why all of the music that I'm playing is copyright free. But sometimes automatically, well, actually just that one time, it played this thing, and next morning I got a notification that I have a copyright infringement, and I was like, what? But I knew exactly what they were talking about. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pick some complicated parts of this app because I don't want to sit here and bore you with like adding front-end components that are simple. So what should we do? There are a few parts of this app that still need building. Delete this. Okay, there are still some parts of the app that need building. This is the home page. We still need to make this home page. There is this front-end component. Sorry, there's this banner that we need to add. This banner has like a nice real estate stock image. It has a search bar at the top. I already have a search bar here. So if anybody's looking to contribute, this would be a really nice component to contribute to. You just need to add the header bar. Then this recommended list of properties. This is what we, this is kind of where we show the search. This is the property details card, like this thing. So instead of showing one property, we want to show 4 properties, and we want it to look like this, the property card. And I think we already actually have the component for this. We just need to style it. Again, this would be another nice component that you can work on. Check out the other 2 pages in Figma file. Playground and components. Oh, when did you add this? I did not even see this. I like this like buttons. I also like the pills here, the badges. Oh, we also had this error in our code last time where the badges weren't styled. We're actually using shadcn. So maybe that is a bug that we can look into today. But here's something else that needs to be developed. We need to build this property card. And this like and dislike, that is actually the recommended properties. Oh, hey, Rockstone baby. Thank you for following. I want to remind you all that this is a supportive community and a safe place to chat. So we do not accept any form of bullying or any form of harassment. If that is what you end up doing, we may have to ban you. This is a safe place and everybody is welcome here. Should we create an issue first and then raise a PR, or we can directly do it? Let's create an issue first because that would be great. Hold on. You know what? I can create issues. So if people want to pick up, that can be done. Um, I don't want to do that right now. Okay, but I want to talk about the other features of this app. So we talked about the property card. That is something that we need to do. This liked recommendation property, this is something that I will implement as well. This, if you click on the like button, we want to show you more properties that are like the ones that you liked. So I will actually do that today because that is something that is important, also a little bit tricky, so I will wire that up. But this property card is a nice component to build as well if somebody's looking to contribute. So we've got the like, dislike, and then the heart actually saves it to the database. We save that property as one of the properties that you are interested in. And then we have a list of 4 properties in a row. This is based on the search criteria that you wrote. If you have not written anything or if you haven't hit enter, the banner should be a little bit bigger, like something like that. And then once you start typing, the banner shrinks down. And we show you more properties. Now here's an interesting feature of this app. This is something fun to develop, which is infinite scrolling. So as you keep scrolling, we'll show you more and more properties. So we only fetch like a certain number of properties, but then as you scroll, we'll fetch more properties. I'll also build that in one of the future live streams as well. So if you're interested, stay tuned. You also want to probably hit subscribe because you may not see the stream again if you don't hit subscribe. Okay, and then this is something else that we want to build, which is the property details page. On this property details page, we have a carousel at the top. So if you click on left or right, we actually scroll through the other images. Also a great component to build. I highly recommend that even if you don't contribute to this app, you build a carousel component at your own, because a slideshow component or a carousel component is one of the most commonly asked interview questions. I have been asked that question as a front-end engineer in TikTok's interview, and I have been asked that question in one more company. I can't remember the name. I believe Apollo or something else. I've been asked that question at least twice in my front-end interview. So highly recommend that you build a carousel app, some form of carousel app. There should be buttons that help you advance to the next slide. There should be buttons that help you track which slide you're on and fetch image based on which slide you're on. I also have a React O'Reilly course. I should give the link to that as well, where I show you how to build this carousel component from the start to end. So if you are new to React, this is something that I would highly recommend. Okay, and then the rest of this page is actually pretty simple, but we fetch details for you. We've got these pills. These are actually Shatsian pills, badges. I don't know why I keep calling them pills. Then we have 2 buttons here, love it and not for me. And these are actually the recommendation service buttons. So if you click love it, we'll show you more recommendations like this, which is right here. It pops up when you click love it. But if you say not for me, then we trash this. We mark it as a preference of false. That means you don't want to see properties like this. And we'll try to show you properties that are newer and not like this. Fine, unsubscribed. Right now the camera resolution is hurting the PIP camera view. Oh, is it hurting the picture-in-picture camera view? What do you mean? Hold on, let me see. Really? What's happening? Is it hurting? What do you mean? Oh, it's kind of small, isn't it? But the code looks fine. Okay. I think we'll live. Carousel component was the first component I made when learning React. That component is very simple to build. Yeah, it teaches you a lot of really good things that are tested in interview, like state management, sending props over, calling an API, proper use hooks, or like React hooks, use hooks, proper use of React hooks. So it's a really good component to build. Oh, thank you, Arjun, for sharing the newsletter. Well, you did take the Shadsian pill. It would be YouTube compression. Yeah. Okay, no worries. All right, you know what? Let me move this thing down as well so y'all can see the stream properly. Oh no. Okay, how about that? How about that? Cool. Alrighty, so after all of that, let's get started and build some shit. Okay, so and then if you hit the not for me, then it shows you try these other properties which are dissimilar to the one that you just disliked. And also we have a share functionality here. I haven't really thought about implementing this, but if somebody wants to take that on, feel free. Okay, I think I'm going to start from the left side and I'm going to pick this component as the first one. I'm going to add Shadsian, no, not Shadsian. I'm going to add the icons from an open source library as well. And then I'm going to add the like button. I'm going to add the on click functionality on the like button. And I'm going to call the recommendation service if you like a property. Don't you love when the wrong thing moves in Streamlabs? I know, right? Regarding the Bruno song, you can mute the section of the video and technical the copyright hit. Yeah, that's what I ended up doing. I muted that section, and I'm hoping that the copyright hit goes away. I don't think I've gotten back from YouTube yet about the copyright thing, but I'm hoping that should fix it. All right, so let's do this. I think I'm gonna, so here's how this should work. If this is a property card, if you hit the like button, or like if you hit the kind of like for me button, the one that actually generates recommended properties, we don't really want to show you recommended properties just yet, right? Unless what we could do is, we have already searched for a property list here. We could generate recommended properties, and instead of showing it here, we could add it to this list. So we can generate 2 rows of recommended properties, or like 3 rows until the viewport hits, and after that the next line of items could be recommended properties. And we could also say something like, because you liked that property, like the address of that property. Kind of like what Netflix does. Let's open Netflix actually. Let's get some inspiration. So, okay, so it says continue watching. That'll be kind of like our search thing. Then it says because you watched this, because you watched this. So everything else is kind of a recommendation list. And then here's today's top picks for you, and new on Netflix. So it has actually what, like 3 rows of recommended list, 1, 2, 3. And one kind of like a search thing, or no, 4 rows of recommended list. So we could do something similar. We could say we generate 3 rows of search properties, and then the rest are kind of recommended properties based on your search criteria. And then as you start liking, we start showing more properties. Oh my god, what happened? copy, paste here. Okay. And we could say something like, because you liked, I don't know, 2345 West Seattle. And then we'll show you like 3 or 4 properties. Our recommendation engine builds 5 properties, but we can just show 4 properties. And then if you start liking more, we'll show you more properties. And if we run out of that, we will continue to show you your search criteria. I think the homepage is starting to become pretty complex, but hopefully it doesn't look too complex. Alrighty, so I'm gonna start building this card, which actually we already have a little bit of it here. So we have a like button, dislike button, and then we just need to add this save button, and then we need to add number of bedrooms, bathrooms, which I think we already have. Bedrooms, bathrooms, and the address. So we're pretty much there. Oh goodness. Go back. Go back. Alrighty, so I'm gonna open I thought I moved this around. Property details, property card, property card. And where is this property card coming from? Property card is in property details. And then in app.jsx. Properties list. Properties list has property details, and property details has property card. And handle like is right here, and handle dislike is here. Property actions on like, on dislike. So let's go into property actions. And like, dislike, I'll also add a save part. And then on, call this save, on save, and this is gonna be the save button, and I'm gonna give property details a save functionality. I think we're already doing that. Handle save. Handle save. Okay. But what is the difference between handle like and handle dislike? Handle like and handle save. I think the only difference is that preference is undefined for handle save. So then, okay, let's think about this. So what is the difference between a like and a save? Save saves it to the property, and like generates recommendations for it. But like also saves to the property. So can we skip the heart button and just have a like and dislike? Right? Um, is there a difference between saving a property and liking a property? If you like a property, would you not want to save it to your list? You still want to save it to your list. Hey Suresh, how's it going? So I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to get rid of this heart sign because I don't think it'll be needed. We don't have a use case where we don't show you, like we don't have a use case for heart right now. So I'm going to get rid of this heart. We don't need this save. Get rid of this handle save. On save, because it's kind of redundant. On save. Alrighty. Okay, we do have to add icons for this, so we should use that icon library. What is the name of that? Lucid? How do you even say this? Lucid. Okay, we need where are their icons? Okay, where is this like button? Like thumbs up, actually. That's what we need. Thumbs up. Like, oh wait, thumbs up. There, this is what we need. Copy JSX. I'm just gonna copy that here. JSX. Oh, thumbs down. All right. And gotta install this as well. React. Oh. npm. Apply. Alrighty. Wait, not from this. See, this is why you have to make sure that you look at what the code it's right, what code UI AI is writing, because it totally imported it from material icons, and I'm not using that. Thumbs up and thumbs down. There you go. Okay. Now going back here, and I'm pretty sure that I can add an on click. There you go. Okay. So I add an on click here. And then add this on click on like. I'll get rid of this. Get rid of this. Alrighty. Cool. Just doesn't have a hover effect, does it? Go back. Go back. Oh, also need to have state management so that when you click back, we actually still save the state of your app. What wireframe or prototype application generally you use? For wireframing, I typically use Figma for prototyping. So wireframing prototyping, if I'm doing just like if I'm not doing a design heavy job, I usually use, damn, what was the name of that component? Excellidraw. I typically use Excellidraw. If I'm doing a heavy design stuff like this app, then I typically use Figma. I just covered the search section component on the homepage to the GitHub. You could check that out, please. Oh, sweet. Thank you, Ishrit. Okay. And then I also want to see what kind of hover effects does this have. Fill equals red. Icons. Thumbs up. Have you ever tried PenPot for UI UX? I have not tried PenPot. PenPot. I shared the screenshot of how it looks on Discord. Oh, thank you. Awesome. If it looks good, then I will make the PR. Let me check that after the stream, because I have quit Discord while I'm on the stream, so I don't distract myself. Alrighty. Okay, so this is decent enough. Let's move on to the functionality, which is that if you hit the like button, actually I don't have like an on hover, so let me open this up and see what kind of things it accepts. Oh my goodness. Any valid. Does it have like on hover, size, color, stroke width? Okay, filled icons. Star fill. You just add a fill to it. Color. What else can you do with these? Thumbs up. Oh, interesting. Because the color of lucid icons uses current color, the color of the icon depends on the computed color of the element, so it inherits from its parents. Interesting. Ah. So if you were to add like a hover effect to it, you would add it to the button on top of the parent. So you do something like button, let's see, button, oh man, I don't want to do this. Okay, let's do button on click equals on like, and then here you add, it's not a button, it's actually an SVG, so that's why we can do this. Same thing for this, button on click equals on dislike, and then you add your SVG here instead of attaching the on click to the SVG. That's what the recommended approach seems to be. Okay, now it says that you can attach a style equals color of of like red. Let's try that. On dislike, style equals this. And this is how you attach colors to this. You could also give it like a fill of red. So there's that. Fill equals green. Okay. Why not? Color equals green. Okay. Oh, this is looking like a traffic light, but let's add functionality and then we'll make it look pretty. I could at least do this. Okay. Alrighty, now we need to make sure that when we wanna fill out our recommendation list. So that comes from, where does like come from? It comes from here on like, save property, perform action. I think this perform my action is how we generate recommendation list. So let's rename this. Rename generate recommendations. Alrighty. And then handle dislike. I'm going to limit this to 4. Price, bedrooms, bathrooms, nice to haves. Okay, here's something interesting. If we like a property, we want to show more properties like that. That means we can generate embeddings. We can do a vector search, and then we can pick the top ones, the ones that match the most. However, if the property is a dislike property, we actually want to stay away from that property. We want to not generate similar embeddings. We want to not generate similar properties. So how do we do a not of an embedding? How do we do a not of a vector search, of a similarity search? I don't know. Let's find out. Lucid React, my favorite one, icon library recently used in Dubai real estate project. Really? That's cool. Oh, when? React Norway? When is it? June 13th. Oh, I can't be there. Okay, I am distracted. Right. Convex. Convex is actually what we're using for our similarity search. So I'm going to look for convex similarity search. But I wonder if I can do like a dissimilarity search, like properties that are absolutely opposite of this. Oh, there's another thing we can do. So what we're doing actually is, okay, here's what we're doing. When we generate an embedding, when we generate a property from the recommendation list, we actually generate IDs of that property. and that ID corresponds to its ID in our database. And in our database, we've stored if a property is a preference of true or a false, which means if we liked or disliked a property. So what we can do is that when we generate a property and when we generate a recommendation list, we can look through each of those recommendations to see that the ID actually has a preference of true. If it is a preference of false, we don't recommend that property. That's what we can do. So if you see here, we have an ID of a property, and then we have this is the embedding, this is what the data looks like in vector form. And this is, preference is what describes whether this property is something we like or dislike. So preference, if it's true, then we can show that as a recommended property. However, if the preference is false, then we need to move on and find the next property that's closest to it. So instead of generating only 4 properties, I'm going to generate like 10 similar properties, so that even if like 3 of them or 4 of them have preference of false, we still have a good amount of data set to generate to give them a recommended list of properties. I feel like I've been talking a lot, so let me pause here to see if there are any questions the chat has about the app so far. Any questions about embeddings, recommendations, similarity, vector, what are we doing, what's life, why be a developer, anything? Eminem. Oh my goodness. We also don't have any state in this app, like any app-wide state. We just have component-wide state. So if you actually go back and forth between the pages, like if you click on this and you go back, the state of the app is lost. So we have to fix that. Okay, actually I'm going to store that in my to-do list because that is an important thing. Okay, I'm gonna add good first issue here. So if you're looking to do, this would be a nice issue to start. And I should also link the Figma here. README, TanStack, Figma link. Alrighty, show recommendation properties in the UI. That's what we want to do. So, right, are there any questions so far? What would be the future of software engineers be after AI taking so much role, I usually get that question a lot every time I build an AI app. And I often get asked, what is the future for software engineers going to be like? And here's what I say. As software engineers, we're going to start doing more and more complicated stuff. We're going to start doing more and more stuff that requires an overall architectural knowledge instead of like building components, something that, right now. So right now, for example, what I'm doing is thinking about how data flows, how to architect the app, thinking more of the information architecture of the app instead of just building like a like component, dislike component. Because even right now, the like component is coming from ShadCN. So this is kind of how a software engineer's role is going to evolve. Like, we're going to be more of architect of the app. We're going to spend less and less time writing down the trivial code, like writing components that can be easily automated, like how we're doing right now with SHADC and these SVGs. But we're going to think more about how data should flow, how we should preserve the state of the app, things like that. So our overall work is going to become more I think we are gonna actually up level as engineers. We're gonna become the need for people who just write simple components is gonna decline because AI is gonna take over most of that. But the need for people who can think about the app in an overall architectural sense is gonna increase. So I think the main impact that's gonna happen is probably gonna be on the very junior folks who are writing very simple components, very simple features. But even those folks are gonna up level and become more senior engineers. So I think software engineers are still gonna be needed. It's just that the work we're gonna write is gonna be more technically challenging as opposed to just like moving boxes around, because that kind of stuff I'm pretty sure AI tools is gonna take over. Even like Figma has there's a lot of tools that integrate with Figma right now that can take this design and give the code out to you, like what this component should look like. So even that you don't have to do, but then your handle clicks and your event functionalities and your state management, that you have to do. And I think that's how we're going to evolve. Eventually people who could code without AI would be considered shamans. Because even now, like React can take care of rendering the app, and you don't technically need React to write a web app. But there's a lot of people who are still writing WordPress apps, and there's a lot of people who are doing JavaScript, only pure JavaScript apps as well. No React, no libraries. There still are people like that. The need for writing only HTML, CSS, JavaScript apps has declined a lot. So we are all kind of writing more high-level stuff, and I think that's how we're going to evolve as engineers as well. As software engineers, we're going to be doing more high-level stuff instead of thinking about, oh, now I need to develop a like button, like how do I do that, or like I need to left align my text, how do I do that? Because UI can take care of, like AI can take care of all of that for you. But here's what I would say. If you are somebody who's just starting out in front end, back end, full stack, whatever stack you're on, whatever end you're on, make sure that you focus on your fundamentals, because if your fundamentals are strong, HTML, CSS, JavaScript for front end, back end, API building, Node.js, one framework, one language of choice, if you have that nailed down, you'll be able to move and up level anytime. But if you're dependent on like AI code tools to generate code for you, you're gonna have a hard time, because today's code is gonna be, or today's code tools are gonna be replaced by something else tomorrow. So how are you gonna transition between them? So make sure that your fundamentals are strong, your computer science principles are strong, you understand the overall architecture flow or overall data flow of the app. Thank you, and I hope your channel will be growing definitely. Ah, thank you so much, Aditya. That's so sweet. Okay, let's get some recommendation going. Oh my god, how is it 10:49 already? I feel like I've only been streaming for 30 minutes, but apparently it's been an hour and 16 minutes. Okay, let's go. So what happens next? When you click, we want to show you more properties, right? We are actually on this homepage. So when you click this, what happens is that this area, because you like blah, 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 starts popping up. So in my current app, let's see, how many properties do we have? First of all, we have too many properties. We gotta fix that. That's way too many properties. But anyways, what I want to do is app.jsx, I've got properties list, and then properties. Where's my properties? Use state, set properties, parse data, dot. What? How? When? Parse data dot slice. Can I do slice 0 to 10? Okay, and then if I reload this, fill search. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, probably 10. Okay, I think that's good. So I've got 4, and then I want to show 12. So I'm going to show 12. Is this inclusive? Slice is inclusive or exclusive? I don't know. I either have 12 or I have 13 properties. I think it's not inclusive of both numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I don't know. I can't count. Whatever. Okay, so I have 12-ish properties, and then at the end of this, I want to write recommended properties for you. So I've got is loading, and then I want to create this into. I'm going to create a new section here, and then I want to say, what is your problem? Okay. And then I'm going to say, and this is going to be recommended properties. Dot length greater than 0. And then I'm going to say, because you liked, and this is where I'm going to write the name of the property, because you like XYZ property. And for this, I'm going to give it a recommended lists, recommended properties. All right. And now what I want to do is recommended properties is going to get generated when I hit the like button. So let's go ahead and create that. Recommended properties. Set recommended properties. All right. And then now if I, where is my like button? Recommended properties, properties list. Handle like comes from you know what? Seems like it is time to add some state management. Okay, so properties has this. Then when I like a property that's actually in here on like, I go and call property details is fetch stuff. There is fetch stuff somewhere, handle like, which generates recommendations. And then what does generate recommendations do? I think this actually returns some data which I'm not sending back to my UI, so we might have to move handle like up into app.jsx, but let's find out. Or I could add state management at this point. Okay. Generate recommendations calls this convex function, which is use action, API function, similar properties. Let's go open this, vector functions, similar properties. Okay, this returns results, and we're actually not using those results anywhere. So in my generate recommendations function, if I log this const properties is this, oh wait, do I have to wait? Probably have to wait. Okay, this, and then add console log, yes please. And this is going to be recommended properties. Okay. Open console. Oh my god. Fill and search. Recommended properties is not defined. What? Oh. What? app component canvas provider. Okay. App.jsx, where is recommended properties? Recommended properties. Recommended properties. Okay. Oh. There. Okay. And then you want to add like this. Actually, why don't you add that here? Section. And then section. Okay. All right, so that, and then clear this, and then fill in search. Click like. Blows up. Oh, didn't blow up. Nice. Okay. Okay, we have properties coming back, which is nice. The only thing is that we've got properties on this page, handle like, so we have two options here. We could either move handle like down to app.jsx and pass it down, or we could put recommended properties in our state management, which we don't have right now, and consume from the state management put it in state management by this app, and then consume by this component, the properties list component. Now here's a question for you guys. Where do you think, which option would you prefer? Do you think we should move the handle light function here in the app JSX and pass it down to the properties list component? So lift the handle event up, or if we should put this data in our state management of the app-based state management. Which of these two should we do? And why? So question for you guys. So here, I will rewrite this question again. Should we move the question for you? Should we move the handle like to app.jsx or add app-based state management, such as context, Redux, etc. Okay, that is the question, and I will give you 3 minutes to answer that question. Meanwhile, I'm gonna drink some water. Okay, I see really good answers from everyone. App-based state management. In state management, we should keep it. And Redux would be good. We can use TanStack query to manage the property state, and that way we don't have to add external state management since TanStack query can work here great. All good answers. I'm glad that nobody said we should keep it in we should lift it up and put it in app.jsx, because I agreed that we should put it in app-based state management. So Redux would be a good choice. Putting it in TanStack query would be a good choice. However, in this state, what I want to do is keep everything in React and not add an external library. Why? Because I don't know yet what the state management situation would look like. So my goal is usually to minimize the number of libraries we keep, try to do everything in React, and then see if we need to introduce a new library, and then do it if we need to. So I think Redux would be a great choice. I already imagined that going down this route, we probably have to use Redux. But for now, since we only need to fetch recommended properties and we don't need to overdo it by doing Redux or even TanStack query, I'm going to use context, and I'll show you how you can do that with context as well. TanStack query helps us cache also the request and allows us to reuse the string. Yes, that is a good point, KZ. TanStack query is definitely a good choice also, because when we go between routes, TanStack query would be a really good choice. However, right now, let's try to do this with just context. We just use context to show you an alternative approach to handling state within components without adding an external library. All right, so what we want to do is we've got this recommended properties, which is what we want to store in our context. So the way context works is, actually, I'll open the documentation for you. Context. Okay, so the way context works is you can use this hook called use context. You read from the provider. Provider is where you kind of add what data should go in, and that kind of wraps around your app.jsx or whichever component you want to wrap around that state. And you use create context to create that, like the sum context, which would be the provider. So it gives you some context of provider and consumer. And the way you wrap this is you create a, for example, theme context. You create using this function called create context, theme context, and then you can pass it down to your component, whichever component you want to have state to. So anything that is wrapped with this provider will have access to the value or to the context that you've set. And then any of these children components can read from the provider and also update that provider. And this is a really good example, which I really like showing, for showing how to change value that's set in a provider, in a context. So you can actually use state. So for example, it would be recommended properties. You can use state to add a value like theme here, and then what you do is you provide that value that you had, like the state variable itself, to the provider. And whenever state changes, your provider will update, which means whoever is consuming that value will be able to get the updated value as well. So you combine use state and use context together to have a reactive state. We should also isolate the search input state, since that living in the app component will create unnecessary renders when we type anything in the search box. That is actually correct. That is a good idea, Kizzy. I think what we'll do is, here's my plan. Let's add recommended properties here today. We're gonna wrap up with use context, and then tomorrow we're actually gonna fix this problem where we fill description and search, and then if we go forward, like if we click on this and we go back, we actually lose our state, and we're gonna use TanStack query to fix that. So today we're gonna learn how to do state management without any external library, but tomorrow we're gonna fix the state issues between forward and backward routes. So we're actually going this between routes, so TanStack query will be able to help us with there. And tomorrow we're gonna fix route-based state using TanStack query. But we are going to look for recommended properties, and then we're going to save that using context. So if I click like in my backend, in my console, I know that I have some properties. What I'm going to do is save them in my context. So let's go ahead and do that. I'll also open this documentation because this is helpful. So what we want to do is in our app JSX. Now, one thing we have to think about is which kind of parent component do we want to wrap in this. So as of now, the apps that are, or the components that are dependent on this recommended properties is this properties list, which is where we generate these cards, and then the recommended properties component, which is the one that consumes the recommended list that gets generated. So we like here, and then that ID gets set, that list gets set by the property details card, which then the recommended properties picks up. So it seems that these two components are interdependent. So it would be a good idea to create a context that is only set on these two. And the reason we are doing that is because we want to keep the context as close to the components that care about them, so that we don't end up rendering everything else in the app. Re-rendering everything else, because anytime anything in the context changes, the app re-renders. That is why. Okay, so what we can do is we can ask AI to create this. This is going to be pretty messy, so let's capture this out. I'm going to ask AI to create a new component for this. Actually, both of this. I'll just do it. Properties. Hold on. I could actually simplify this code. I'll get rid of this, and then get rid of this. Get rid of this, get rid of, move this at the bottom. What else? Properties section. This comes here. Command X, Command V. Properties length. Move properties list inside conditionals. That's what I did. Okay, recommended properties. What am I missing? Section, properties. What am I missing? A section. Alrighty. So if I do this. Apply. Okay. Property properties length dot greater than 0 section remove unnecessary white space. Fine. Apply. Must have one parent element. Okay. Apply. Alright. And then Command X. Let's see. And then V. What? Oh. There. Okay. Alrighty. Now what we want to do is actually wrap this within a theme provider or a context provider. And this is becoming super complicated. So I'm going to move this out into a new function. I'm going to get this out of here, keep this as is. Hold on. Command X. And I'm going to create a function here called render properties, handle submit, render properties. There. And it should return a div. So I'm going to make it return this guy. This. All right, and then call this render properties here. There you go. All right, and why we're doing that is because now we can just wrap our properties provider, properties context provider right here. And then the value is going to be properties and move that in here. Now where does this properties come from? It's right here. Properties, recommended properties, set recommended properties. Properties context provider is now defined. Let's create that. So I am going to create properties context. Let's create the context and properties provider. Actually, I could get context dot provider. I think I can just do that. Yeah. Dot provider, and this is gonna be react.create context. Then in my app, I'm gonna say const oh, I don't need to use context. So where is the set properties? That's right here. Okay, let's actually think about what this provider would look like. What is the data we're sending? We have properties, which is actually an array, and then we have recommended properties, which is also an array. However, properties could be like it's an object, right? So it could be like an ID of 1 2 3, and then address like street name, 1 2 3 Main Street, and so on. Then our and then it would have like other stuff. It's all commented out. Now, what does recommended properties looks like? Recommended properties actually has an ID. It's like one of this stuff, right? ID and a score. But that's not what we want to store in our state. Why? Because recommended property itself has an ID which actually corresponds to its ID in the database. So it could be something like ID of the property. So let's just say property ID, which is like whatever the property ID is in the database. But then it also has a corresponding property ID, and this is the property ID that we liked, right? So this is same as, let's say, 1 2 3. Recommended properties. Oh yeah, that's fine. It's fine that it's breaking. And then this is, yeah, property ID and corresponding property ID. So this corresponding property ID is important because property ID will help us fetch from the database, but corresponding property ID will help us understand where to show this. So like here, because you like this and this. Now the question is, do we care about which corresponding property ID you liked and we should show more like that, or is it irrelevant information and we shouldn't worry about it? I think what we should do is, for the simplification of this app, we can actually get rid of the corresponding property ID. The reason being, we care about properties that we like. We don't care so much about, we care about seeing similar properties, but we don't care about a property that we liked and we should see which property we liked. Like in Netflix, I think Netflix is a little bit different in the sense we've already watched that movie, so we want to see similar movies for that. So it says because you watched Do Patti, so all of the recommendations are like that. I don't think we need to complicate our app that much. I think we'll be okay by just having a list of properties that match the properties that we've so far liked. So we can just rename this to based on properties you like. And this is similar to what Amazon does. So it just says based on properties that, based on products that you've already liked. So we can say based on properties you liked. And this way we can get rid of one field, which is the corresponding property ID, which actually simplifies our state a lot. And one thing we have to do before we display this information is actually pull this from the database, because this is a database ID. We need to pull this information from the database and pick that property and show that property. So that's what we're going to do tomorrow. I think this is a good point to stop this. I am going to write to do in here. Show recommendation properties in the app. This is in progress. How do we write in progress? I think I want to show it as a loader. Timer. Okay, this is in progress. Show recommendation properties in the ID in the UI. What we want to do is update context provider to no. I'm gonna do context provider today, but what I want to do is update fetch property from the database based on its recommendation ID. Because the reason being, what we get back from the recommendation property is a ID of the database ID of the property, and we still have to pull it from the database. Okay, so that's what we're going to do tomorrow. But we were actually building our context provider. Let's do that today. Okay, so render properties is here. This has a list of properties. And then when we get back, when we get back from the recommendation engine, we can just push to the recommended properties. And we can simplify our state by by putting both of this in there. So we can put properties and recommended properties in our state. And that is going to go into our context provider. So value is going to be a object which has properties, and then it's going to have recommended properties. Now, as you can see how context may not be a right choice here, because the value that we're sending is actually an object, and anytime a property within this changes, this entire render properties function re-renders, which is why context is not a good solution here. But we're going to go with this for now, for today, so we can show how to do it with context. And I think that is a good exercise to do as well before adding any additional library, to see what you have in the current framework satisfies your needs or not. So if you were building something like a slideshow app, this would totally suffice, because the stuff that we're going to save in a slideshow component is going to be a lot simpler than what we're doing right now. All right, so what were we doing? Properties context, we've got the provider, we've set the value, and now we need to set this value down to this render properties function, which is the properties list here. In properties list, I think we just have to pass the set function as well. Properties is here. Who is setting? Setting is here. Recommended properties is here. And we can pass the set recommended down. Set recommended properties is set recommended properties, and in properties details, generate recommendations. We are bringing recommended properties, set recommended properties. Actually, we don't need this, but we need generate recommendations, and then I'm gonna set recommended properties in recommended properties here. And this would be unnecessary to render recommended properties right now, because we only have a list. So we're going to say recommended properties dot map property key equals property dot id property dot id property. Property.id, and we're gonna actually render its score. Score. And then if pretty sure this is gonna blow up, and then if I like this, Nothing happened. Oh wait, no, I do have some errors. Properties context provider is not defined at properties context dot provider. React dot create context. Oh, am I even reading these properties? Wait, what? Properties context dot provider is not found. I don't think I even have that. So lost. Where is this coming from? Okay. I don't have this at all, but context properties context dot provider. Properties context is here. Wait, did I even need the context here? I feel like I didn't even need the context. I've got value, properties, recommended properties, render properties. Then render properties has properties.length, and I'm passing in set recommended properties down to properties list. I actually don't even need context right now. Set recommended properties. Hold on. Trash this like this. Set recommended properties is not a function. Render properties. Recommended properties is not a function, which is in property details. Set recommended okay. Because this goes to properties list. Oh, properties list, property details. Okay, and then this properties is not defined. We're gonna do some prop drilling here. That's fine. It's fine. Okay, like cannot read properties of undefined. Reading score. Oh. Did we generate any? Hold on. Let's see. This was in property details. What did we get back? Guess hook back. Hey Honor. Row, dee tone. Okay, fill and search. Like this. Okay, we do have some recommended properties, so that's good. I think it's probably just that we are accessing the wrong ID or like the wrong property. So let's go ahead and fix that, which was actually in app.jsx properties list, recommended properties, property. This is gonna be a, oh, I don't know why I'm doing this. This is going to be a recommended properties. So dot map, that's going to be the first item. Oh, hey, that should be there. And then if I just console log here, what's in my property? And then I'm gonna do this and that. And then I'm gonna do clear, and then I'm gonna do fill and search. Miss Akshay Kumar's prime acting days. I like some of his new movies. Object. Okay. Property is undefined. Okay. Oh, why am I doing this? It needs to be a property. Like that. Okay. And then if I reload, and then if I zoop, and then I dupe, there you go. Okay, now I have a property ID, and then if I scroll down, okay, there you go. Because you like XYZ property, you have this, and this. And instead of saying because you like XYZ property, I'm gonna go ahead and say because you liked, where did it go? Recommended properties. Based on your recommendations. Okay. So based on your recommendations, I give you like a list of properties that we've generated. Now, obviously, this is obviously we are just generating like the score of this. We have to fetch from the database still. We can do that later. But for now, let's take a quick look at what we did. We actually didn't even need the context here because all of our stuff is actually still in app.jsx, which kind of sucks, but it's okay for today. Because tomorrow we'll make the state management better. We'll actually handle the state management of this app because there's a lot that needs to get done. So for tomorrow, I am going to add, this is an in progress stuff. Where is my state management? Tomorrow we're going to fix the state management, and we're going to figure out, do we need Redux? Do we need Redux? I'll also talk about why at this point you probably want to introduce a new library and not just rely on context. We'll look at Redux, and then we'll look at TanStack query. That's what we're going to do tomorrow. As of now, I am going to commit everything I have so far. So git add, git commit, adding recommended properties, git push. Cool. Everything is pushed. And that's all we're going to do today. So, folks, thank you so much for joining me. I want to share the link of this GitHub repo once again with you. Again, this is an open source repo, so feel free to pick the design and implement the components yourself if you want to practice UI and React building skills. GitHub link. And if you're somebody who's new to front end or new to React, I highly encourage you check this out. There's a Figma there, the code is there, React components are set up for you. Literally, this is a pretty good this is pretty good app for you to start practicing your front end skills. And this is also something that you can show in your resume as well. So if you want to use this as your kind of project you want to show in your resume, if you've contributed to it, feel free to do so. But folks, thank you so much for joining me today. I will see you tomorrow, 9:30 p.m. PST, my time. Same channel. If you haven't hit subscribe, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button so we can get to 3,000 subscribers by the end of February 28th, and we can make chai and chat together. I will review your resumes that you send me on February 28th, and I will provide you Oh, hey, Pratik. It's so nice to see you. I'm glad you could join us, even if it's for the last 90 seconds. I still appreciate you. Yes, what I was saying was 3,000 subscribers. That is our goal by the end of February 28th. If we get there, I'm gonna make chai, and then I'm gonna answer your questions. I did a Q&A at 2000 sub celebration. It was hugely successful. A lot of folks showed up and you had a lot of questions. I think I answered questions for like 2 hours, and you asked to continue to do that for the next session as well. So here is part 2 of that. If we get to 3,000 subs by February 28th, we're going to make chai together, and I'm going to answer your questions. I'm going to review your resumes, and I'm going to share a personal story of struggle that I went through recently. I will see you soon. Thank you so much for joining me. I will see you tomorrow at 9:30 p.m. Bye.